Hi, I'm Father Patrick Wainwright, and thank you for joining us in these daily reflections. Tomorrow is the Feast of Pentecost, and the Church, with this feast, we finish the time of Easter. So the days between the ascension of the Lord and Pentecost, of course, are days of preparation. Not only preparation for us, but also it was a time of preparation for the apostles themselves. So I would like to suggest a couple of thoughts for you to have in mind as we get ready for this feast. The first thing is that the Holy Spirit is the third person of the Holy Trinity. He is co-equal with God, he is God, but he's distinct from the Father and the Son. And he actually proceeds from the Father and the Son by way of love, or as St. Thomas Aquinas would say, by way of the will. And so the Holy Spirit is the love of the Father and the Son. And this love of the Father and the Son is given to the church and given to each individual soul in the Feast of Pentecost. This is what the apostles received in the visible appearance of tongues of fire. So the Holy Spirit, therefore, is the one that sanctifies the church because it proceeds through love. It sanctifies the church. It gives its unity, and it also sanctifies the individual soul. In the sense of sanctifying the whole church, the Holy Spirit gives the church assistance so that it will be faithful to the teachings taught by Jesus Christ, to the revelation of God, to the deposit of faith, faithful in retaining it and being unchanged, but also in presenting it in the different centuries and times, so that the church will present it faithfully to each moment in history. The Holy Spirit also gives unity and cohesion to the church, and the Holy Spirit sanctifies the church through the sacrament, but also providing holiness in its members. As we see in the different ages, we have saints for every time and season. Now, what is maybe more important and more directly pertaining you and me is that the Holy Spirit is the one who works out our salvation and sanctification in our soul. So when we talk about being saints, being holy, trying to obtain heaven, we have to remember that it's not primarily our work and our effort the one that attains that fruit of holiness. On the contrary, it's the work of the Holy Spirit in our soul. It is our sanctification is and will be the fruit of the action of the Holy Spirit in us. And what we have to do is to be open to that action, docile, and do our best and our effort, in a sense, to take it to perfection. As St. Augustine wisely said, God who created you without you will not save you without you. And we could also add, will not sanctify you without you. So in that sense, we have to make an effort to be docile to that action of the Holy Spirit, open with open minds and open hearts to whatever the Holy Spirit might tell us at each moment. And when we perceive that the Holy Spirit is speaking to us or asking something specific from us, we should be generous in putting it into practice. In that sense, I have a nice anecdote, a funny anecdote in a sense, at least for me. As I was writing those words, because I prepared this little reflection, writing it, I'm not reading it, but I write it before to know what to say. As I was writing that precise phrase, that we have to be docile to the action of the Holy Spirit, when we realize that he is asking something specific, Brother Andrew, who is here with us in our family center in Michigan, came in and said that there's a person that just arrived into the family center and wanted confession. And I was not prepared for that, and I had a little bit of a crunch time, but it was clear that God was asking that of me. So I went, heard confession, and then came back to do the rest of the recording. So there you go. So sometimes the Holy Spirit throws a curveball to us. So in a word then, try to be docile to the Holy Spirit. In that sense, it's important to have a time of daily prayer and be attentive to the action of the Holy Spirit, to what the inspiration of the Holy Spirit may say. That doesn't mean that any whim that happens in our mind is the action of the Holy Spirit. We have to be prudent and discern when it is the will of God and when it is not. That is, we have to exercise prudence and discernment. So, as a preparation for tomorrow, I encourage you then to reflect on the action of the Holy Spirit in your soul, to ask yourself frequently, what might God be asking of you today and now? And also to reflect on two good texts and meditate on them, two good texts that the liturgical tradition of the church brings to us. And those are the Veni Creator, come Holy Spirit, Creator Spirit, and then the Veni Sancte Spiritus, which is the sequence for the Feast of Pentecost for tomorrow. I will provide the text in a downloadable PDF down below in the links. So may God bless you abundantly. May God bless you today, you and your family, and especially in the Feast of Pentecost, and all the days to come. May the Holy Spirit be always with you. God bless your day.